Well, hello, my lionesses, and happy new year. This is our first broadcast of 2026, and I am one of those. I am so happy that we have entered into a new year because 2025 was one for the record books in my book, and I'm sure it was one for the record books in yours too. So I'm grateful. I'm grateful that the Lord has blessed us to see 2026. I'm even more grateful that He blessed me with my sister that's sitting here on the other side of the lioness tonight with Miss Nio to spend part of 2025 together and to step into all of these new things that God has prepared for us in 2026. So, hey, sis, what's up?
What's up? Oh my God, 2026, a new
2026.
beginning and a permission to excel in your presence.
Mm, I
Oh,
love
it's
it.
going to be a good year.
Oh,
It's going
yes, it
to be.
is. Oh my gosh. Yes, it is. I was in consecration all last week. And if I tell you, it was such an amazing time because God kind of flipped the script this year. Normally, I'll go and I'll do a shut-in at my church the first 7 days of the new year. I'll start New Year's Eve night and come out on the 7th of January. But this year, he flipped the script. And what he did, he said, no, I want you to go in and align yourself for the end of 2025 so that you step into 2026 with fire and power. And I was just like, well, all righty then, let's do it, okay? And so we went in on the 28th, and that was the focus was aligning, cleansing, getting the stuff out of our heart that didn't need to be there because it's out of the heart that the issues of life flow, getting our emotions in order, getting our mindset where it needed to be, understanding our identity in Him. And it was an amazing experience. And if I tell you, we stepped into 2026 with power and with fire, and my word for 2026 is governmental authority.
Mm,
Governmental authority. And so, it's like step into that power, step into that authority with the keys to the kingdom in your hand. And
absolutely.
that's what we are doing. That's what we are doing. And so I'm really, really grateful for 2026 because I believe it's going to be a year unlike any other. So when we think about we progress as people, as human beings, we learn, we progress in our personalities. Excuse me. Our maturity level should be progressing. Everybody's doesn't, but it should be progressing. And so I wanted to look tonight and as we step into this new year and looking from a leadership perspective, because I know that's your baby and your passion, and the thought of resetting our leadership identity for 2026. Okay. Especially as women, especially as lionesses, flipping the script.
Yes.
Whatever that script was prior to, it needs to flip. And I know you have been focusing on the quietness and the imposter syndrome and getting yourself together as that leader. So I really want you to open us up and kind of talk about that going into this new year. We're here.
Absolutely. It's so amazing when you started and you spoke about how the Lord led you into cleansing and aligning before you entered into 2026. And that is the same message that the Lord gave me. And He
Mm,
gave it to me earlier in the year, gave it to me in the beginning of December.
mhm.
And for those of you that follow me on LinkedIn for Joy Notes, you have been seeing that I've been talking about presence and quiet authority. And what that means is we have a tendency to review our year based on performance,
Mm,
based on a checklist of goals that we have prescribed to, but we fail to look inward. We fail to acknowledge the work that the Lord has done in our lives. We fail to acknowledge what we have accomplished as a person, as a being,
Mhm.
we fail to give ourselves the authority and the ability to say, this no longer serves me.
Mm.
This is not my priority. And we need to release. That's why the Lord gave you this message. It was the message of release what is no longer yours and step into the path that I have for you for 2026. And you see, it's about prioritization. And as I spend time with my leaders, it's about letting them understand that they have to release control. Control over the things that are easy to control, but you don't need to control. There's so many things that we spend so much time in because it makes us feel comfortable,
Mm.
but it doesn't serve us, right? A sandwich. Your kid asks you for a sandwich, and we make the sandwich, lettuce has to be on the bottom, okay? Tomato on top. I only put mayo on one side. And then the child goes to make the sandwich and they put mayo on both sides. And we get all out of control because there was a change. Is that really something that you need to control?
Mm.
I know that's a really simple example, but I'm sure that you can think of so many little things that we waste our time in.
Mhm.
And the fact of the matter is, for us to be strong leaders, we must enable others to own things and let ourselves have the focus of what we have to prioritize on.
Mm.
And your priority is your presence, yourself, your creativity, the things you love, the purpose you have, the passion you have. That is self.
Mm. Mm.
Everything else is stuff that we've learned and talents we have that we execute only when we are truly in full self.
Mm.
So, yes, ladies, take the time, do the exercise of asking yourself what matters.
Mm.
Write that list, and you will find the list is a short list. And then write down next to it all the things you've been occupying your time with that truly doesn't matter.
Wow.
That's been taking your time, taking your blessings, taking your ability to soar away from you. And if you start 2026 and every day of 2026 with a win, what matters? Then life is different.
Yeah.
And that's the beginning of what we have to do in 26. And let me tell you, there's so much more. There's so
Mhm.
much more because once we
Mhm.
start prioritizing, then we start doing what? Executing, focusing, having discipline. And then what seemed impossible, remember, we limit ourselves. God never
Mhm.
limits us.
Mhm.
What seemed impossible all of a sudden seems in our path, in our natural nature of occurrence. It's going to be a good year. It's going to be a good year.
You know, as you were talking, when you started off with your analogy about the sandwich and the child, the first thing came to my heart and to my mind was give those around you some grace
Yes.
because you will find that your 2026 will go a lot better. Like you were talking about, we want to control the narrative all of the time. But as leaders, especially as leaders, even in our own home or on the job or wherever it is that you have set up this leadership reign at, you've got to be able to give the people around you grace because your child likes their mayonnaise on both sides of the bread and they like a slice of cheese on it too. And
Hey,
you may not like cheese, but it doesn't matter Your child may want some mustard on it. Mustard. But that doesn't mean my child doesn't like mustard. So
Mhm.
you've got to give those around you grace, which it will increase your leadership skills and ability and productivity. Because you need to learn the same way you're looking inside of yourself and self-identifying really who you are as a leader. You need to be identifying those around you. This personality works better this way. That personality works better that way. I get more productivity out of this person if I ask questions as opposed to giving orders. I get more productivity out of this person if I create that structured environment because that's what they need to work in. But this one over here is a creative. And so if you give them the freedom to create, you just might have something powerful that they create for you. So it is a time of reassessing how you lead.
And as
Go ahead.
and what you are talking about is leadership restraint. Being able to observe,
Mm,
being
mm,
able to listen,
mm-hmm.
being able to actually give your leadership strength where it belongs.
Yeah.
Because once you really observe your people, you really start seeing their talents,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
seeing their nature. And as you stated, you are able to navigate how you interact with them so that they can excel at their best.
Yes.
Because a true leader's strength is not announced, it's quiet.
You don't have to step in the room and say you the boss. They know you are when you walked in the room.
Hello? And guess what? If I'm a real leader, I can be out of the room and my presence is still there and they're still
Absolutely.
functioning and excelling
Absolutely.
because they don't need me to henpeck.
Hmm.
They need my support. They need my guidance at the right appointed time. They need my opinion when they ask for it,
Mm-hmm.
but they don't need me to hover.
My ex-boss, um, first of all, he's a narcissist, but beyond that,
We've all had one.
he liked to micromanage. I can't be micromanaged. It drives me crazy because if you give me an assignment, I'm going to carry out the assignment. I don't need you hovering. And if you're hovering now, you're on my nerves, and then you're going to make me sit up and do like this.
Mhm.
You should have did it yourself. Okay. But he also, because he was a micromanager, he wanted me to micromanage. I refused to do it. Categorically, point blank, I'm not doing it. Those were my exact words. Those were my exact words. Here's the thing, and this is real. And when I teach entrepreneurship, I teach do not hire anybody that you cannot fire. Okay. Don't hire mom and them, and you can't fire mom and them. Okay. Because it's mom and them. Okay. Make sure that you're hiring quality people that you don't have to micromanage. Because if I have to micromanage you, you're not the right person on my team. Maybe you're that right person on his team. You're not the right person for my team. Because I am, as Neil just said, I'm the leader. I don't have time to hover. I'm the one that's supposed to be making sure that the vision is carried out. You're the one that has been tasked to carry out the vision. And if I can't trust you to do that, then you're not the right one for the place. It's just, I've been binge watching on all of these planes, the story, Yellowstone, because I don't watch
Mm.
TV at home. And so I like Kevin Costner. So I was like, well, let me, I've heard good things about Yellowstone and what have you. And so I started watching it. From just, I'll watch a movie and then the movie doesn't take me all the way to my destination. So then I'll watch 2 or 3 episodes of Yellowstone. The foreman in Yellowstone, this is how I'm not into TV, right? I know it starts with an R. I think it's Rex, Ryan, Rick. I don't know. It's an R. But he has this no nonsense attitude with the ranch hands, okay? And Kevin Costner's character's son is now back, Casey. And Casey wanted to do it a different way because Casey was going to be in charge and he allowed people to ask questions and he wasn't like that forceful, right? That, I want to do it differently. And one of the guys said to him, that's not how it's done here. And he's like, but I'm trying to do it differently. And he said, different doesn't work. Well, different may not work for you, but since there's a new sheriff in town and the new sheriff is going to do it differently, this may not be where you need to be.
It may not be the right place for you anymore. But here's the thing.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's okay. Because you see, power is truly about focus. Power is not about self-fulfillment. Power is not about your ego. You see, many leaders spend their whole time believing that if they are questioned, they're losing power because they are supposed to be the all-knowing.
Be all, end all. I know it, everything.
You know what?
That's
Then
God.
you did not hire anyone of value because you should be hiring people that have the talents that you don't have.
Right.
You should be hiring people that are going to be the experts in that particular thing. You have to have vision as a leader. You have to have a designated definition of what is good, right? You have to have that vision, that measurement of defining when is the project done, what is the quality of expectation. Your job is not to create that quality. And we have too many leaders that spend their whole time trying to do the work. Middle management leaders struggle because they went up the ranks doing the work. And then when they become leaders, they don't know how to let go of the work.
Let go. Delegate. Let it go.
And yeah, but we say delegate because we've surpassed that, right? We've been able to mature past it. What I like to say to them is nurture so that they can be as good or better than you were. And the way you nurture is let them make mistakes. Let them execute. You have to be on the focus of making sure that timeline isn't, set off track. You have to be on the focus on the high level, but let them be. Let them show you they can. Because everybody wants to show you they can. You see, that leader that is trying to control it all is making it so you limit the people into the little box you put them in. But imagine if you say, this is our goal. How we get there is going to be wavy.
That's your job.
That's your job. Most of the time, we get to the goal faster because they have the freedom to develop.
And their strong suits. It's their strong suits that will carry you to your goal line. That was the one thing that I loved about working for Don. Okay. When I worked for Don King Productions is he was excellent in casting the vision. Excellent. And that was really, that's your position as that leader. Let me write the vision and make it plain. Okay. Like Habakkuk. Write the vision. Make sure you are crystal clear in the vision and giving it to those that you're leading. Crystal clear. So, and I let them ask questions so to make sure that they're clear on what the vision is, and then let them go.
Mhm.
Then let them go. All right. You've got, if you cannot, again, if you cannot trust that they're going to carry it out, then they're not the right person for that particular position. Now, this is one thing that I've learned over the years. That person may not be good at that place, in that position, but if you're observing, like we were talking just a little while ago, you'll find and you'll see their strong points and you'll see, oh, you know what? They'll be better suited over here.
Yep.
They'll be better suited over here. I had an employee at my last position, and he was a vendor management specialist. He managed the vendors out in the field. That was not his thing. Oh my God. That was not his thing. Okay. But I watched him and I put him in a different position and he excelled. He excelled because he was able to be himself and utilize his strong points for that position. So you as a leader, as you're casting the vision and you're overseeing the vision being taken care of, see the strengths and weaknesses of your people. Just because they're not excelling here, watch them. Watch them. This one may be really good at administration, but not good at operations. And you've got them in operations and you're just, oh my God, throw up both your hands and they can't get it right. But their administrative talents, you're looking at and going, but they could do this over here. They can do that. And you put them over there and you'll see. So it's never getting to that place where, like you just said, Neil, box them in. Don't
Mm.
box the people in. This
And
is
don't
part of
box you, and
leadership.
don't box yourself in.
That's true too.
Because just as I'm listening to you, the first thing that came to mind was that leader that is scared to make a pivotal change.
Mm, mm,
You see, they think that because they said, we're going to go straight and there's a shortcut to the left, but I told everybody we were going straight. There is no shame in changing direction. There's
none.
power in changing direction because they're seeing you're observant.
Mhm.
They're seeing you're capable to be flexible and to get them to the end goal
Exactly.
swiftly.
Exactly.
And we as leaders need to get our ego
Mm,
out of commission. Fear and ego are the death of leadership. Leadership is about flow.
mm,
It's about being curious. It's about being able to elevate others as you're moving towards your goal
mm,
and celebrating others. Because let me tell you something, that leadership presence,
mm,
it lingers. And they all of a sudden understand they can trust.
mm,
A true leader is trusted. They know that you are going to be fair. They know that you're going to see their strengths and
mhm,
weaknesses.
mhm.
You're going to help them with the weaknesses and you're going to elevate those strengths.
Yeah.
But most importantly, they know that you will say, I made a mistake. They know that you will say, we need to pivot, and they appreciate you for that.
Mhm, mhm.
But when you have
It's not
ego
even
in the way,
always that it's a mistake. Sometimes you have the perception, you this discernment. You can see vision. Vision is not like sight. Sight
yep,
is narrow. Sight is right here in front of you.
yep,
Vision sees afar off.
hmm
Okay. And so we were going this way, and yes, it was working, but I see something over the horizon. And so we need to, as she said, pivot. And anybody that can't pivot, that can't change, because change is not easy for everybody. I love change. I love adventure. So, oh, okay. Well, where are we going today, Daddy? It's like, what we gonna do today? It's like, I understand. I had to learn that everybody is not wired like that. However, what she just said, I hope you heard her. Fear and ego will sink your ship.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't be afraid of change. You can't be afraid of change. So you can't be afraid to pivot. And then if it is something wrong with what you've been doing, you can't be afraid to say, you know what, I missed that one. And here's the other thing, because it might be one of your team members that caused you to recalibrate. Your team member may have come and said, can I just share something with you? And they should be able to do that.
Yes.
If you're this staunch, just person, they're afraid to bring it to you. If all you're doing is flipping the whip, just like, no, this is what I said, do it my way. What could save your company may walk out the door because they know that, well, they're not going to listen. Always have that open door policy with your people. I understand there's a certain decorum when you get a certain place, but never get to that place where they can't come to you and to talk to you. Because I'm telling you, it could save you.
It will definitely save you. And just remember, we talked about asking the question, what matters? Make sure that throughout your day, you ask the second question, which is a daily question. What is the impact?
Mm,
What is the
mm.
impact of my decision? What is the impact of the work we're doing today? What is the impact that the way I show up has on others?
That's good.
You
That's
ask
good.
yourself those two questions on a daily basis. It truly will give you the pause to enter into yourself and to be the present person that your team needs.
Mm.
Because now you're going in there saying, okay, what's important? What is it? What are those three things that are important for today? Okay, now you have a short list, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is what I'm going to do today. No matter what, we got three things we're going to get done. Everything else is noise, but these three things, they're going to get done. And then you say, what is the impact of getting those things done? Now you are excited because you have what? Clarity. So you are then able to give clarity to your team because vision is about clarity, being clear about what you're going to deliver, what you are doing. And guess what? Impact gives you the why. What matters? What is the impact? Two questions. If you know nothing about leadership, if you ask those two questions, you are ahead of most leaders.
Mm.
We got to keep it simple, guys,
Yeah.
especially us women, because we spend so much time wondering what other people think about us. I got to be very honest with you. That is performance thinking. That
Mm.
is thinking that I need to have every single degree out there to be accepted. I need to have all the metrics in the world to be accepted. And guess what? That makes you functional. That makes you dependable as what? A deliverer, but it doesn't make you a leader. A leader is about presence. A leader accepts themselves fully, and it's trying to deliver impact.
Mm.
And what that means is that they understand that leadership is about the other person. It is not about them. So when you, as a leader, are going and having a conversation with someone, think of their needs first. Because for them to listen to you, they want to hear of how it serves them. What is their win? If you enter the room with your win, guess what? That's what's happening.
That's all
Nobody,
they ever hear.
they're never listening to you again. They're never trusting you. They're never doing nothing. But man, you come in and you say, we got some work that's going to be impactful. And man, when we get this done, you're going to be able to 2x your productivity. Let me show you how. And I want to hear your thoughts. That's letting them know their voice matters.
They're valuable.
They are valuable. Let's walk in with the presence and the abilities that we already own ourselves, love ourselves. Because if we are excited and present and accepting of who we are, trust me, the rest will accept you too.
Mm-hmm.
But don't you dare go in there begging for acceptance from anyone. In short, you'll be rejected.
I got a couple of things swirling around in my head. First of all, the performance driven. And we as women, from
Mhm.
as far back as we can remember, were pre-wired in our upbringing to perform.
Mhm.
Because we wanted to be pretty, we wanted to hear the compliments, we wanted men are performance driven in a different manner, and
Mhm.
they're just as driven, hear me,
Okay.
but we as women, it's more of a cosmetic thing, okay? um, I gotta look good. My apostle says this, but I've heard it said other places too, that women dress for other women. They don't dress for themselves.
Absolutely.
We
Absolutely.
dress because we want you to see us look good. Okay. We want you to say you look good. All right. And I get it because I'm a woman, so I get it. But at the same time, if you can't look in the mirror and say, I look good, I feel good, I don't have to ask for permission to be intelligent. I am intelligent. I don't have to rely on the compliments of others to feel beautiful, because when I look at myself, I see my inner beauty. It's not just this, because this is fleeting. I'm looking at my face right now going, dang, girl, you got 10 months, you'll be 70. I see it. Everybody else be like, girl, you look good. I'm like, oh, I see it. But I'm good. I'm good because I'm grateful. Okay. When you look at yourself, don't be performance driven by other people. See you, see who you are. Again, you don't have to ask for permission to be great because you already are. You don't have to ask for permission to be intelligent. As a woman, you're not always recognized in the boardroom as that one, but you're utilized as that one. They will use you till they use you up because they know you possess it. You are that it girl. You got it. You will take that vision and you will make it whoosh, whether they give you credit for it or not. They've been doing this like that for eons. Okay.
Ever. I
All
want to,
right.
yep. And I want to go back to what you were saying about men and women. Men are performance driven.
Absolutely.
But here's the difference. And ladies, get closer. Men perform for themselves. Stephen Curry performed over. I bought my grandson his book, and the book is over 1,000 pages, and it has pictures of every layup over and over and over again with instructions on how to make those baskets.
Wow.
Wow. And the reason it's set up that way, because his goal was to be able to make a basket without even looking, because he, in his brain, knew he was going to make that basket because he was performing for his greatness.
Mm. I need that book for my great grandson.
Yes. So, what I'm trying to say, ladies, when we turn ourselves into Serena Williams and we're performing for our greatness,
Mm.
we no longer care if someone says we're pretty. We already know we're
Absolutely.
pretty. We don't
Yes.
care if someone thinks that we're hitting that tennis ball right or not, if our form is right or not. We know where that tennis ball is going to end up. And we don't need anyone's approval, because what every athlete at that level has is their self approval.
My God. Mm.
They approve of themselves, so they are.
Mm. That's good. That's good.
So we all have this. We have the degrees, we have the ability. When are we going to be happy with what we deliver? When are we going to walk into the room not with 17 books? I prepared for the meeting. Honey, you prepared for the meeting when you woke up in the morning. You
Hello?
already knew everything. You don't need to set yourself to be approved. You need to approve yourself.
Thank you. Say that again, please.
You do not need to set yourself to be approved. You need to approve yourself
That's good.
and walk into that room with nothing but your cell phone. And you need to sit down and speak when they are worthy of listening to you.
And make sure your words hold weight. And the only way your words are going to hold weight is if you believe them coming out your mouth.
Absolutely. None of this sheepishly. I have spent over 30 years inside boardrooms. And one thing I've always known is I do not waste words over explaining anything. If I am going to speak, it's going to be a very clear statement. And there it stands. I don't doubt it. I don't question it. I don't
Mhm.
apologize for it.
Okay.
Listen to me, girls. Do not preface your statement with doubt, apology, or request for consideration. These three things are never done by a man. They just make the statement. Approve of yourself,
Mm,
make the statement.
mm,
You already did your work.
mm.
Don't go into that room asking for approval from anybody. Go in that room owning the room.
There you go. There you go.
Own that room. And let me tell you something, they know you own that room when you walk in.
Yes, they do.
You're not doing anything crazy. You're just sitting down, but you're sitting down in confidence. You're sitting down in wholeness. You're sitting down in self-awareness. That is a superpower.
Mm.
Now, that doesn't mean they're going to just clap for you, because you're going to threaten a lot of people. That's that's who we are. That's who we are. We threaten people.
I have learned that we are mislabeled so often
Hmm.
when we walk in our confidence. All right. But you know what? What they label you does not matter. What you know yourself to be is what matters. So, as she just said, don't go in there with apologies for being who you were created to be. If I walk into a room, I own the room, and I know I do. All right. And that's not conceit. That's not arrogance. That's me being who God created me to be. Because He created me to be, as I said this year, is my word, governmental authority. So when I walk into the room, I have authority over the room. I have authority to speak to the atmosphere and shift it if it needs shifting. I have authority to speak with power if I'm given the opportunity to do so. And I don't have to apologize for it. And I don't have to ask for permission because this is how I was created. It's how you were created. So they'll say that you think you're all of that in a bag of chips. No. Mm-mm. You know who I think I am? I am Quaylette Yvonne Sparks James. That's who I think I am. And I know that can't nobody beat me being me. I know that as well as I know my name. All right. Whoever you are, no one can beat you being you. So own you. Own you. Don't be timid. Don't be embarrassed because of who you are. You have been fearfully and wonderfully made. Your uniqueness is your superpower. No one can do you better than you. Own it. Own it.
And when you start owning it, oh, my sisters, when you start owning it, there is a freedom that comes with this ownership
Mm-hmm.
and an empowerment that comes with it.
Mm-hmm.
And what it is you no longer are anybody's puppet. You are so free from strings. You are so free from their script. And now you are in the essence of who you are as a person.
Mm.
And that doesn't mean that you're going to act the fool. It's actually quite different. It
It
means
is.
you walk in elegance.
Yes.
It means that you have the knowledge of when speaking is worthwhile and they're not worthy of my words.
And here's the other thing. You are so comfortable in you that you do not intimidate your sisters. You collaborate with your sisters and you guys can own the sphere together without any jealousy or any
Mhm.
envying or any competition because you recognize, like my sister sitting there, I recognize her superpower and we complement each other
Always.
because each of us occupy the sphere in which we've been given. So it's not a competition, ladies. It's not. You don't have to try to one up your sister. Let her occupy the sphere she's been given while you occupy the sphere you've been given. And when you bring those two spheres together, girl, you got something.
And I'm going to tell you, there is something so special when you're seeing one of your sisters blooming and they are just handling the room with such finesse and you're just there and you're up,
That's
you're just
it.
clapping inside. You're full
That's
of the
it.
bubble, and all you know is, I got you. I got your back. Whatever you need, I got your back. Ladies, when we own who we are, we have the space to cheer others on.
Yes. All right. On that note, you got 30 seconds. Tell them where they can find you and experience Joy Notes on a daily basis.
Okay, definitely you could find me on Nio Queiro, that's NIOQUEIRO.com. But on a daily basis, you could definitely find me on LinkedIn at Nio Queiro, and you will get joy notes on a daily basis, which is a guide and guided exercises for you to enter in your transformational, authentic leadership. And we also have Substack that gives you the opportunity to do a great deal of growing and wonderful articles. Um, all I have to say to you is spend the time to give yourself the ability to lead effortlessly in an
Mm,
unstoppable manner as
mm.
your true self. God
Amen.
gave you the God gave you the playing field.
Yeah.
Allow him to work through you.
I thank you, my sister. I thank you. Happy New Year, man. I'm
New
excited
Year.
about 2026. Wow.
We
It's
got
going
things
to
to
be.
do. We got things
It's
to do.
Yes, it is going to be the year. My Unstoppable Lionesses, that's the end of this first broadcast for 2026. I pray that you have listened. Tag a friend, okay? Send it to your sisters that need to hear this because we are unstoppable lionesses and we are ruling and reigning in 2026. I love you all. See you next week. God bless.